I will make a post here in a moment after we get kind of rolling. I want to welcome everyone to our September meeting for the Amateur Radio Club of Columbia County. This is meeting number 84. We are unfortunately not streaming live to Facebook, much to my disappointment, but we are recording, and the recording will be made available to everyone. Devon, could I ask you to do our invocation?
Sure. Let's pray. Father God, thank you for this day and, of course, the beautiful weather you've given us. Lord, during these times, this trying times, but thank you for technology you've given us. We continue to meet and pray for our fellowship, even through the internet, and my conversation this evening to be of you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you, Devon. Okay, I'm going to mute everyone here kind of while we get going to kind of minimize distractions, I think. And everyone will be able to, if you want to speak, just you're muted now, but you are able to unmute yourself. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to run through and we're going to do a quick around the horn, let everybody introduce themselves. We got several applications for new membership. We'll do our normal reports, talk about upcoming events. We've got 2 pages of old business and updates, talk about the annual awards and our club property that we have for sale, get updates from the committees, updates from Aries and Amron, quick review. We do not have a program this evening, but we will open it up for questions and answers or sharing or anything that anyone would like to share this evening. I may pause here in a moment and just give Facebook another try, but it does not seem to be working for me. Okay. All right, so what I'm going to do is just kind of, this is always tricky because every time somebody speaks, the order that shows up in my participants list changes, but I'm just going to kind of call out our first name. Please just unmute, introduce name and call sign, and then I'll call the next person. Welcome everybody this evening. My name is Dan, N1ADM. David, I have you next in the list.
Hi, my name is David Vine, WA1EAW.
Thank you, David. Bill?
Good evening, everybody. This is Bill Clark. I'm WK4F.
Thank you. Pete and Carmen?
And unmuted. This is Carmen, K4EQQ.
And Pete, K1OIQ.
Okay. I have Robert next.
Okay. Hello, this is Robert Kesregas, and new technician licensee, K04HJZ.
And I'm Marina, and K04HJY.
Thank you both for joining us this evening. Casper?
Hey, can you hear me?
We can.
Okay, yep, my name is Casper. I'm K04DQI.
Thank you, Casper. All right, now see, it started changing order, so I'll have to watch closely. Susie and or Chuck?
Hi, this is Susan, Whiskey Alpha Zero Bravo.
And this is Chuck, Kilo November 4, Echo Papa Golf. And we have a visitor.
Hi, this is Chris Nelson. I'm Susan's brother, and I'm Whiskey Zero Echo Uniform.
Cool. Well, thank you all for joining us this evening. All right, Devon.
Yes, my name is Devon, Kilo Mike 4, Papa Hotel Tango, and this is my real shack behind me. It's not a fake screen.
Okay. I have Eric next. Eric, are you able to use audio there? Or we will introduce Eric KK4ZHT. Oh, there he is.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you now.
Okay. Eric, KK4ZHT.
Thanks, Eric. Jeff. KO4HJR, Jeff, sorry.
Thank you. Yep, new technician license and hoping to make myself all the way up to amateur extra. Jeff Hutto, KO4HJR. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. Let's see, Jim and Cindy.
Jim, KV4YA.
And Cindy, KM4DBA.
Okay, thank you. Mike.
Hey, this is Mike. I'm KN4WZL, still sort of new at this too.
Okay. Oh, wow, I have two mics in a row. K4ECL Mike. It looked like it keyed up. Mike, I'll come back around to you. I'm not hearing you. Thomas.
My name's Thomas. I'm KO4FFA.
Okay, thank you. Mark.
This is Mark, AA1WO.
Okay. Michael.
Michael Nowakowski, KO4ASU.
Thank you. And then I have Mike L.
Hey, I'm sorry. I think you got one more mic. I'm KN4WZL.
Yep, that was the one I was looking for. Thanks. Let's see. I think that might be Rachel.
Hey, this is Rachel, KO4HLC. I'll learn to say it eventually.
Thank you, Rachel. Great to have you join us this evening. And congrats. Congrats to everybody on those licenses earlier this month. Let's see. Okay, Rusty.
Rusty, KG4HIR.
And last but certainly not least, Shannon.
Shannon, KK4MED.
Okay, because I don't trust that I saw everybody on the list, did I miss anyone?
1, 2, 1, 2.
Hey, there you are. Got you, Mike.
Yeah, Mike.
All right, thanks, Mike. All right, I'm going to mute everybody again, but again, you can unmute your microphone at any time. Okay, unfortunately, I won't get to recognize the Facebook Live. I feel really bad about this, but we will get a video to them. I think we're all special guests and visitors tonight. I will welcome and ask David, WA1EAW, is there any news from Amateur Radio Club of Augusta that you would like to share with us this evening?
Well, not really, except that we're eagerly anticipating our October 17th Swap Fest. We will be having we just had the general membership meeting, and things are going along pretty well. We're really trying to find a place that might be suitable for an in-person meeting. Although, you know, the conditions all the way around just don't seem to be favorable for that right now. Availability of a venue that doesn't cost money, and, you know, one that is outside, that is lit, that is accessible after sundown, you know, those kinds of things. It's pretty tough, but we are trying to do an in-person meeting at some point in the near future.
Okay, thanks, Dave. We feel your pain on that one. We're kind of in the same boat. We're doing the best we can, you know, via social media and online. But there's something about it that's just not quite the same. And certainly, when we want to start actually getting folks together and on a radio, we definitely want to do that in person. But hopefully, things will improve. But appreciate that report, David.
You're welcome.
Okay, I got some great news to start off the meeting. We had a whole bunch of people, including several that are on the call with us this evening. Congratulations to all these folks, and more than this, actually, who either got their first license or upgraded their license on September 12th at our VE test session. I'm sorry I could not join you, but thought discretion was the better part of valor that day. But anyway, all of these folks have listed here, have submitted application to join the club. They'll get 1 year free membership for testing and passing the test with us. I will contact each of you individually. There's a couple of different options for how we can do this. We can give you all next year free with a prorated for the remainder of this year. Or we can just take, the months off next year. We'll worry about that later. The payment comes later. But anyway, all of these folks have applied for membership of the club. So I would ask, what is the pleasure of the membership of the club? Is there a motion to accept all these folks into the club?
I'll make a motion.
Okay, I believe that was Devon. Is
second.
there a,
Yeah.
I'll second.
that was Mark?
Yep.
Okay. Is there anyone opposed to accepting this entire group of fine people into our small but growing amateur radio club? I do not hear any dissension on that. Is there any discussion? I guess I should have asked that first. Okay. Welcome everyone to the Amateur Radio Club of Columbia County. I've already added you to our email distros, so we won't overwhelm you with email, but welcome to the club, and we look forward to having you participate in our club activities, and I hope you'll enjoy and be active members. One of the things we do miss by not having in-person meetings is a swap table where everybody can bring all their goodies to sell or trade. Everybody else gets a chance to look over and buy. But two things we can do virtually tonight. If anybody has anything that they want to sell, I'll pause for a moment and let you mention, or if you want to buy something. And also I would point you towards the swap seller trade page on our website. It's a little bit lean right now, but I'll talk about some stuff in a few minutes that might make it have some more items here pretty soon. So I'll pause. Anyone, David, I think I see your hand up in there. Go ahead.
Yes, sirree. I have a Hallicrafters, let's see, I think it's the 170. It's the HQ 170C with the clock. The catch is nothing comes on, although the clock does work. So it's getting AC power into the radio, but no tubes come on, nothing. So it's probably, now I'm just, guessing here, but it's probably something fairly simple. But then again, I don't know. So the caveat is it's $45 as is.
Okay. I would ask anyone who's interested to that to contact David offline. David, is your contact info good on QRZ?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Or send an email to me after the meeting, and I'll get you in touch with.
Yes. Also, one other thing. I have an XP laptop. It's really in its day, it was a high-end laptop, so it's got a lot of input-output capability and excellent screen, etc. But the point is, it is XP, and that is meant to be used with the second item in this pair, and that is a signal link, brand new, never used, unfortunately. But now that I have two radios, 7100 and the 7300, I really don't need it. So I'll sell the XP and the signal link and the cable, etc., all that stuff for $175.
Okay. Again, if you're interested in making an offer, if anybody wants to right now, I'll pause and you can contact, be kind of like the net, you can contact David directly, or if you would like to wait, just send an email to me afterwards and we'll match you up. Anyone? Okay. Just a quick reminder about Amazon Smile. If you're not already supporting a charity, we would definitely appreciate your support. Doesn't cost you anything extra to use Amazon Smile instead of your regular Amazon, but we get a very small percentage. But our last donation for the quarter was $40. That's $40 free for the club, like having 1.5 members join last quarter. So that was very nice. So just appreciate your support with Amazon Smile. I have a couple of reports for you. Neither our treasurer or our secretary are here with us this evening. But the treasurer's report, and we actually have more than this because we've sold a few items in the property sale, but we have a total of $4,850 in the treasury right now. We have some of that obligated for other things, leaving us with $1,700 available for club operations. And again, I think it's going to increase by close to 1,000 this week. So very good. We were scheduled to hold we normally hold our board of directors meetings every other month. So September would have been a monthly meeting. We did not hold the meeting, but our constitution and bylaws requirement is quarterly, which we met in July, but we will have another meeting in November. And before I get too far ahead, do I have a motion to accept the treasurer's report?
I make a motion to accept the treasurer's report as read.
Okay, thank you, Pete. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Thanks, Shannon. Shannon beat you. Is there any discussion on the treasury report?
Club meeting.
Is anyone opposed to accepting the treasurer's report as read? Hearing no opposition, we will accept the treasurer's report. The secretary's report from our last club meeting is now posted on the website. So hopefully you have had an opportunity to view the secretary's report. In addition to the report, we also actually have video of the last meeting posted on the website. So we record them and post them on YouTube now while we're in this fun COVID phase. And we will probably figure out a way to continue recording and posting our meetings even after we go to live meetings, because I think it gives, particularly when I can't get Facebook to work, at least gives people a way to see what happened in the meeting. Also, when the secretary is not here, she can view the meeting and do the minutes from that. So would anyone make a motion to accept the secretary's report from the previous meeting?
Make a motion.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Richard. Is there a second?
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
And I'm sorry, I just joined the meeting, but I looked earlier today and I couldn't find the secretary's report posted from the last meeting.
It should be.
When was it posted?
It's posted in the meeting documents and minutes of section of the web page.
It wasn't this morning, but yeah.
You probably were looking. I have already posted the holder for this month. If you go down one, it would be the previous months.
Okay, so it wasn't posted where all the others are posted.
Yeah, it's in there, but each sequential month. But I have placeholders for September, and it might have showed up in there.
Okay.
Is there a second? It's okay. It's a good question. Is there a second for the secretary's report?
Yeah, I'll second.
Walter, thank you, sir. Any additional discussion about the Secretary's report? And if I think about it in a minute, I'll go double check that and just to make sure. Any opposition to accepting the Secretary's report? Okay, we will accept it. Thank you, everybody. That's probably the most motions we'll have to do all night. A few things to bring to your attention as far as upcoming events. As David mentioned, the Amateur Radio Club of Augusta's Fall Swap Meet on October the 17th. Also on that Saturday, Randall KN4FYG will be doing an event over at the I think the council headquarters over off of Jimmy Dias Parkway for Merit Badge and Jamboree on the Air. Two important notes for our next two meetings. On the 27th of October at our October meeting, we will be finishing up the nominations process for the Board of Directors election. And then at our November meeting, we will actually hold the Board of Directors election to elect new members to the Board of Directors. And sandwiched in between there is another VE test session. And then a quick reminder of Winter Field Day coming up in January. We have kind of put on TBD. We really do want to hold the Bring Your Own Project workshop because there is interest in it. Just COVID has really kind of thrown a monkey wrench into planning for things like that. And then we will talk about this when we get into the old business about whether we can hold a holiday party and award ceremony in December of this year. Anyone have any additional announcements or questions about upcoming events?
Yes.
Okay,
I heard two. Jim, I see you first.
Okay. So I was approached by a local Girl Scout group. I work with one of the scout leaders, and they're interested in doing a Girl Scout amateur radio merit badge. They've sent me some information that I can pass on. Now, of course, that's usually something that's a little easier done in person. I imagine you could probably, do most virtual. I haven't looked over the material yet, but I just wanted to put that out there kind of preliminarily to see if there was any interest. So if you've got any interest in helping a small group of Girl Scouts out, let me know, and I'll get you the merit badge requirements, and we can look at how best to do that, be it socially distanced or virtual.
Okay, thanks, Jim. Appreciate that. And then I think David, did you have something too?
Yes, I just wanted to mention that probably the majority of the good stuff and the real activity at the Amateur Radio Club of Augusta Falls Swap Meet will be somewhere between 9 and 11, maybe even 9 and 10. But figure 9 and 11, which I think would leave plenty of time to get over to that Boy Scout activity. So just wanted to point that out. Do you know when the Boy Scout activity will be concluded? What time?
I actually believe it's going on into the afternoon, maybe either 4 or 6 o'clock. We did send an email out with the details. I don't think Randall's here. We have it on our net announcements too. I'll look that up here in a moment. But it will, if the swap meet kind of peters out at 11, then it would definitely leave time for people to go over and assist with that. He will also be looking for people to be on the radio to talk to, I believe, but they will have an HF radio set up out there as well.
Yeah, I just wanted to make the point that it's not over at 11, and it doesn't necessarily peter out at 11, but I think the majority of people who are going to sell are there by 9:30, and best pickings, but also that's pretty much the peak. And then there is supposed to be a free barbecue lunch for the first, I think it's, to tell you the truth, I'm not sure. We went back and forth and up and down on this. Does anybody else on this conference know what we finally wound up with? I mean, there will be free barbecue for a number of people, and it may be everybody, but I think it is everybody until it runs out, that sort of thing.
Comment?
Go ahead,
Yes.
Ray.
Yeah, I think the answer to your question is the man has a budget, and however many meals he can get, that's how many we can serve, but he hasn't determined the price per meal yet.
Well, but they will be free.
Yes, but I'm saying you were talking about how many meals. It depends on the price of the meal, and it fits into his budget. That's how many meals he can buy.
Yeah. So it's still up in the air, but it is free. So
Correct.
if you're there early and you want to stay till lunchtime, that's a free meal as well.
Okay. Thank you, David and Ray. Appreciate
You're
that.
welcome.
And Dan, I've got a recheck for you.
Go for it, Jim.
So one thing I forgot to mention is the Scouts, the Girl Scouts did mention that Camp Tanglewood was an option as far as socially distancing and working with the Girl Scouts. So apparently they've got access to that. So that's just one more piece of information for you there.
Okay. That's also the location we have our eye on for Bring Your Own Project workshop as well. Just wouldn't work for our initial one that we planned this month. So we'll probably see what they have available and see what we can do. Okay. Any other events?
Just
a question for you. As a member of the nominating committee, I should probably know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask it anyway. You said that for the October meeting, we'll conclude the board of director nomination process, and then in November we'll vote. What does that mean with respect to October? Are you expecting the nominating committee to bring a slate of nominees, and then we take additional nominees from the floor?
Yeah, we will. We'll cover that a little bit here in a couple of minutes. But
okay.
quick answer to your question is yes to both. Whatever you have now will be presented, but we will also accept nominations. And if people are present, they will have an opportunity to either agree or not to run. And then we have to have the slate finalized by 2 weeks before the election that's in November, and an email will go out to everybody then, letting them know who the candidates are.
Okay.
Quick comment.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to remind, I'm not an expert, but I just wanted to remind you folks that at that Girl Scout camp, there is that room that Rusty used for his demonstration. It is a very large screened area that I believe is open to the air. I don't know if it's always open to the air, but it certainly was when I went over there, which I think was in the winter field day.
Yeah, we use it for Winter Field Day, and we've used it for a couple of different events. It's a great facility.
But I mention it vis-a-vis the Girl Scout merit badge program. In other words, that would be a safer venue to hold it inside or under roof at least.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and another option is if we were going out there to do, the Bring Your Own Project or whatever, I don't know if they're charging us for that or not, but if we're out there doing something for the Girl Scouts, maybe we can run that in tandem.
It's actually not a bad idea. Okay. Hey, thanks everybody. I'm going to move into the old business here. We have just really mainly a few updates on old business. So continuing on the updates and upgrades at the Bel Air Road repeater site. We did finally successfully make contact with the person at the county that we needed to get in touch with. That was, I think, just last week. And so we did get permission. We do have to do the utility locate first, and then we can schedule another. We need to go open the trench up again and fit another piece of conduit in there. Thankfully, We're not in the 90-degree days anymore. We're into much more comfortable weather where that should not be quite as bad. Anyone from repeater committee have any updates on the Bel Air Road site? And I guess I'll open it up for comments on any of the repeaters. Okay, I'll take that as no updates. Look for an email coming out at some point, looking for folks to help with a work day to get that additional conduit installed. We still need to do the locate first and find another day. Moving on to the club property, we did get a donation to extend payment. Club voted to. Yeah, go ahead, Casper.
Sorry. I sent a reply back on the email, and I'm still trying to find out what is the scope of work, because it says David had said that we need to put in a conduit for 3 more coax cables. And if I'm looking at this correctly, that means that it's not going to be the thin little conduit we need to put in. Are we looking at putting in another 4-inch conduit?
Well, Casper, I don't believe so. I'm not really certain myself on that. Again, this is kind of where I need somebody on the repeater committee to kind of comment on like what exactly it is we need to do. So I guess what I'll ask is repeater committee, if you have it now or not, have a meeting so that we can provide that scope of work out, and that's a good call, Casper. Appreciate that. Any other questions on that?
No, I just think it's important we find out, because it makes a big difference if we need to put another 4-inch conduit down, or we can just run one of the smaller ones, because we did have a couple of trouble areas last time.
Yes, correct.
You know, and if we need to accommodate for that, at least we know how it needs to be run.
Agreed.
So, okay.
Thanks,
Thank
Casper. Just an update on the storage of club property. The club voted to fund the storage room through September. We received a donation to extend it through October, which is helpful to keep it until we can get to the swap meet on the 17th. So the goal now is to have everything out of that storage room by the end of by Halloween. We'll have it all out of there, and then so we're in the process of selling a lot of items. You've seen, hopefully have seen the emails for the items that for sale. It's picked up considerably after September 30th, when we've you know, it's been open only to club members through the 30th. We will open it up for wider. We'll post it in several places and on our swap, sell, and trade page, and notify the area clubs that we have available, and then we'll take what we have left to the fall swap meet. We are retaining some items, which I will we'll talk about in a few minutes. Any questions on the particularly the storage part? We'll talk about the sale here in a couple of moments. Okay. I do not believe, Robert, I know you're here for the field day committee. I do not believe we've had any formal contact from ARCCC regarding winter field day. Robert, can you comment on that?
Dan, this
Yes.
is Ray.
Hey, Ray.
Coming to you from Burke, Virginia tonight.
Oh, okay.
At the club meeting, no one stepped forward to be a volunteer, so that is still in limbo.
Okay. Well, we'll push this one back on the back burner, but we're running out of months to plan on it. So we'll make a decision next month on how we go forward with that. I mentioned the Bring Your Own Project workshop. It's still a thought, still planned, still something we want to do. But kind of brought it up last month that maybe that's something we could also do concurrent with Winter Field Day to have kind of what, just a big ham radio day that day. Any questions about anything on this page before I move on? Okay. All right. Talked about it a little bit. I'm going to ask Bill if you want to talk about anything, any updates or pleads for nominations for the Board of Directors election.
Okay, yeah, we have been, we've reached out via email a number of times to the membership to seek nominations or volunteers. You can self-nominate if you so desire for one of the 5 board positions, president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, and board member at large. We do have some nominations. We do have some folks that were crazy, that were willing to volunteer their time and energy to support the club. I think we're up to roughly, and Dan, you might know better than me, but I think we're up to about 50% as far as folks that have either responded or read the email that was sent out from the club seeking volunteers. As you pointed out, or as I kind of pointed out earlier, we will have nominees for all 5 of the board positions ready to go at the October meeting. And we will, of course, solicit anyone who would like to volunteer or would like to nominate a fellow ham that is a club member to join that. We'd love to have competition. We don't necessarily want to just bring you 5 names. We'd love to bring you 10 names so that you can have a choice. So if you're interested, or if you know somebody who is interested, please, check your email and reply to that and let us know so that we can bring those names to the meeting in October.
Pause here to see if there's any questions for Bill regarding the election, and also if anybody wants to nominate themselves right now, we would accept it. Okay, want to talk about the Christmas and holiday party. We normally do not hold a meeting in December because the 4th Tuesday is usually like right on top of Christmas, and it'll be a couple of days away this year. And we usually instead around the 1st or 2nd week of December hold a holiday party, and we also do our awards ceremony. This year is kind of a weird year because of gatherings and stuff like that. Restaurants are open, but some restaurants don't allow huge table gatherings and stuff like that. Potluck is also an option if we have a venue that's sizable to do that, but we don't have to really make this decision today, but definitely by the November meeting we will have to have a motion and a vote on about the December meeting and whether we're going to hold a party in lieu of the meeting. And if we do decide that we're going to have a party, then we will definitely need someone to volunteer just to coordinate it, make reservations, and kind of coordinate for the number of people and things like that. Unless unless members of the club want to make a decision on this tonight, I'll open holiday party up for discussion. Okay. We will need to make a decision in November, though. This will be another item in addition well, actually, we could do it in October or November, but November certainly at the latest. Sent out an email over the weekend soliciting nominations for our annual awards. Whether or not we hold that ceremony, we will do the annual awards this year. Once again this year, we will have the Thomas Coley Ham of the Year Award. The description of that is in the email, along with the criteria that we look for. This year, we're also having another award, the Rookie of the Year Award. Similar criteria, but obviously the number of years of achievements won't be the same, because we're looking for folks that have been licensed for 3 years or less as of the closing date of the award, which I believe I put as November 1st. So once again this year, the board of directors will accept the nominations. We'll review. We will independently vote. What we do is we take all the awards and we independently score the awards. Then we put the votes together, tally them, and see if there's a clear winner. If we have a tie, then we would have to have a tiebreaker vote. But the point is, we do not. We do not discuss and score as a group. We independently score them first, just for the sake of transparency. And because the board of directors are the people who are reviewing and making the votes, board members are not eligible to receive these 2 awards. Any questions about the awards? We definitely, we got some good inputs for nominations last year, and we definitely appreciate that. We definitely have people in this club who are deserving of this recognition. And then resuming in-person meetings, we talked a little bit about that at the beginning of the meeting. I mean, we would like to as soon as possible, but there are sort of 2 concerns surrounding being able to do in-person meetings. One is the availability of a venue to do it. We've been able to use the EOC in the past, and they still have recently allowed us to start the VE testing there. I was going to say, VE testing is a lot less density and number of people in there, but this last time around, from what I understand, there was quite a few people and people density in there. So we will continue to talk to them. I can't really give you a time for when we would exactly start in-person meetings again. The other factor besides the venue is really the comfort of our club members and how they feel about holding in-person meetings with potential risk. We do believe we're probably going to have to find a new location for meetings and possibly for test sessions in 2021. We would definitely solicit ideas from all of the club members of suitable venues to hold meetings and to hold VE test sessions. Before we moved to the EOC, we were out at the POB 1 at Doctors Hospital, which may become a possibility again for that, and we're reviewing that. But there may be somewhere better that those of us on the board just aren't aware of. So if you are aware of a facility that could host probably up to about 50. That's probably about the highest number we've ever had. That's usually for storm spotter training, and has audiovisual support in the place, which that's not a must-have, but it's certainly better to be able to project slides. And a nice to have would be internet access within there so that we could stream the meetings out of there. So just ask your help on venues. We would appreciate that.
Dan, a clarification question. Is there a requirement that the venue be in Columbia County?
I mean, that's a kind of a nice to have. The POB 1 is not in Columbia County, but it's located right off the interstate. It's a very easy access for most people. And we are a Columbia County club. It's in our name, but we actually have quite a few members who don't reside in Columbia County. So no, it's not a absolute. Any other comments about meetings and venues? Okay, got a couple of cool things to talk about now. got past the business. Well, actually, are there any other old business that I might have missed that anyone would like to bring up or has comments on? Is there any new business? I didn't have any at the time we went to press here. Okay. Oh, I already kind of went all over this. But anyway, annual awards, the two that we're going to have, Thomas Coley Ham of the Year Award. This is all in the email. The minimum eligibility is you have to have an amateur radio license and you have to be a member of the club. As of the closing date of the awards. We will close the nominations on November 1st. And we will either present at the holiday party or we will figure a way to present them virtually or at the next club meeting. So we will give out these awards, but I would ask you to check your email. One more note about the email, if I'm mentioning, if you're not getting these emails, check your spam folder. We use MailChimp to send our emails out, and sometimes people's email client may flag it as spam. So I'd ask you to go check in your spam folder and accept emails from ARCCC. Okay, club property for sale. All of the items that we have been putting up for sale are available only to members of the club. We'll do that through September 30th. I'm sending out emails every other day with updates. Those of us kind of working on it are, working this in our spare time. So please be patient with us. Some items have asking prices, but we will accept other offers on those through September 30th. Some just have make an offer, and we're accepting offers on those through September 30th. On September 30th, we'll go through people that have offered the asking price for items, and we've sold a few. We notify them right away and we mark the item as sold. So if you saw the email today, you'll see a few items that were sold. We made well over $1,000 on the sale already, so we're doing pretty good, and we still got a couple of big ticket items in there. On or after October 1st, we will compile a list of everything that's not sold yet and make that available to the public. By that, I mean we'll put it on our swap sell or trade page, and we will make notifications out to the area clubs. We're trying to kind of keep this to local sales to start off with, so we can avoid, the hassles of having to ship things around. If we get down to the end, we will discuss if we need to do that or not. And then on October 17th, anything that has not been sold before then, we will take out to the ARCA swap meet. Again, I send updates every other day. It usually includes what the high offer that's been made for items on there as well. So if you see one you want, you see somebody's put a bid on it, you can put in an offer on it. Just show you a few of the things we have. Unfortunately, I don't have these items, this competition transceiver and this fancy Baofeng up for sale. Wish we did, but that Kenwood would probably draw too much power and blank the lights in Evans anyway. Anyway, things we do actually have. We have sold the IC706 kit. We have offers in on the FT857 kit. No offers yet on the 7600, but all of these kits include a Astron 35 amp linear power supply, so good power supply. They have a Pelican style case, and they all have an antenna tuner, and the IC7600's got some software and a signal link with it as well. We have several HTs for sale. The ID51 has sold. We do have an MD380 DMR and an FT1DR System Fusion for sale. Thing I'll mention about these is I tested all the radios. They powered up. What I can't comment is the, whether the the battery holds full charge or not. We also have an FT817 QRP radio in the inventory as well. And then we have just some other miscellaneous stuff. Signal Link sold. We have a paddle, PK232, some D-Star DV access points, and a whole lot of other miscellaneous stuff and antennas that are in your email. So some pretty decent stuff in there. Hope you'll take the opportunity to look in that, lighten our storage load, and get yourself some cool gear. Any questions about the property? Okay. Oops. Whoops. All right. I'm getting ahead here. Anyone need to make any committee updates? Rusty, anything else on or Eric, anything else on the donation subcommittee that I might have missed in the property sale?
Nothing I can think.
Okay. All right. Field day. I just saw that David just joined us, but Robert or David, any comments or updates on field day?
Are you referring to me?
No, David Corselia. I'm sorry.
Ah, okay.
I just saw it just joined us. Okay. Rusty, anything on the IT side?
Not that I can think of. I do have something that I'd like to bring to everyone's attention as far as the Echo Link on the repeater committee side. For those that have been paying attention closely for the last couple of weeks, we've had some intermittent issues with the Echo Link being up and running. Due to the UPS that it was connected to, the UPS batteries failed, and I'd like to give out kudos to Stephen, CAM4 RVU. He purchased 2 batteries. They were the 12 volt, 7 amp hour batteries. And unfortunately, due to my schedule and his schedule, we ended up, I think it was Saturday night about midnight, we ended up at the repeater and, excuse me, swapped out those batteries. This was an opportunity for Stephen to get the opportunity to actually know what a UPS is, how to swap the batteries out. Those batteries were labeled with the date that they were installed. The front of the UPS was labeled with the date that the UPS batteries were installed. But the big outcome here is that UPS is back up and running. So the IT side of stuff at that particular location should be good to go for a few years. The batteries that were in there in the UPS were labeled 2016. So I think we got some pretty good, pretty life out of those batteries. But kudos to Stephen for the donation and for taking the opportunity, even though it was kind of an odd hour, to get up there and get it installed so that the Echo Link would be maintained throughout the period, that especially during Monday night net.
Okay.
Dan?
Yes, go ahead, David.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, I contacted Chris of the Augusta Radio Club, and he was going to have somebody get a hold of me about field day. I'll contact him again.
Okay. Thank you. Let's see, field day. Devon, anything from Net Control?
Yes, sir. We just updated the schedule all the way to the first week in December. So net controllers, please confirm your date so we don't have any disconnects on our net evening. And also for others, it's a great opportunity to jump on board. So as we move into the holidays, some of these guys and ladies can get breaks, and it's very easy. We can get you on board. Just go through maybe a 1 hour or less training, and virtually we can do that. And some of you new hams, if you'd like to get your, push the mic a little bit more often and see, it actually helps you practice a little bit more of ham radio, and just instead of rag chewing or saying hello to somebody. So if you'd like to do that, just you can email me or catch me on the radio, of course. My email is it's KM4PHT, just like my call sign, KM4PHT @outlook.com, and I'll get you some information and get started. So thank you, Dan. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Devon. Bill, go ahead.
Yeah, so just wanted to put the offer out there. Anybody interested in doing a net control that is a little tentative or hesitant, be more than happy. Cindy or I have a lot of dates on the rotation. Be more than happy to shadow you, let you run a net. You can get with Devon or us. We'll talk you through it, and I'll stay as an alternate. And hang on the net and take a duplicate log and let you run it and get some experience with the training wheels on, where you have no risk or no worry. And those that are regulars on the net know that occasionally something fails over and an alternate takes over. So it's nothing unusual to do that. So if you're debating this and thinking about it, be more than happy to shadow you, so you have zero risk or stress. Jump in there, give it a shot, and even if you don't want to be a continuous net controller, jump in and try it. And we'll shadow you and make sure you succeed at it. And if you have any difficulties, we can just fail over and pick up like we were running the net from the beginning. That's all.
Very cool. All right, Bill, I think we kind of covered nominations pretty well.
Yeah, I don't have anything else on that, Dan.
Okay. Anything from the repeater committee about or in addition to what we already talked about with the Bel Air Road site?
I do have a comment, Dan.
Go ahead.
The other night, not this past Monday, but I think last Monday when Jim did the net, I don't know if anybody noticed, but he said the Echo Link was quiet, and I found out the Echo Link was down during the net last Monday. So Rusty and I went up to the repeater shack and we restarted it and rebooted it, so it came back up. So I'm hoping with them changing the batteries out, it won't do that anymore.
Appreciate that. Well, Shannon, while we have you, any updates from VE?
I know I don't know if I have any more radios, but I do have one program radio left for this year for the last test session we have in November. But I guess now I need to find out if they're going to let us test at the EOC or if I'm going to have to find somewhere else. I did change the test location on the ARL site to be determined, just in case they tell us no, that we can't go in there. So that way it'll give me an option to still find a backup alternative if they tell us no.
Okay, I'll have a conversation with Sean sometime within the next 2 weeks to get that worked out. Okay, Richard, any news on the trustee side?
No, everything seems to be going along.
Okay, thank you, sir. I don't have any QSL manager updates other than I allowed our Logbook of the World certificate to expire, so I get the fun of reapplying for it all over again. Thankfully, it's a pretty simple process. Okay, any committee updates that I did not call? I do think we'll get through the board of directors election. And the new board can decide this, but it would probably be appropriate at the beginning of the year to take a look at our constitution and bylaws to see if any updates are warranted on those. We have a growing club, so that's a cool thing. Okay, Pete, we'll turn the mic over to you for Aries. I saw your note, but I figure we should give you this venue.
All right, thank you. Congratulations to all the new hams out there. And if you're interested in emergency communications, ARES is an organization that fits right in with with the ham radio aspect of it, and we'll be glad to help you out if you're get your feet wet a little bit into the hobby, and then come on over and join Aries. We've got 2 events that are coming up here this fall. One is going to be the annual simulated exercise training, and that's going to be the weekend of October 3rd. I don't have the exact date, but you can go onto the Georgia Aries website and pick up some information there. That's usually a process of checking into multiple nuts that they have throughout the different counties here in Georgia. So that's a pretty good event. We also have another event in November. I think it's the 14th of November. And that's going to be another American Red Cross and Aries combined digital test to pass messages using WinLink back and forth between various counties and across various states. So it's a nationwide event, and it's been working out pretty well. I'll have more details. They just announced it the other day, and they're going to send out more details, and I'll send that out to all the Aries members so they can decide whether they want to participate in that. WinLink is the digital method to use. They'll use both WinLink for VHF and HF communications. Doesn't mean you can't use voice, but that's going to be one of the primary methods of passing a lot of the traffic with the American Red Cross. That's what they prefer. Okay, I've got good news and bad news. No, I've got good news and good news. Good news is I'm stepping down as the EC for Columbia County, the Columbia County Emergency Coordinator. And the better news is that Susan Messick is stepping up, and she's going to relieve me as the Columbia County Aries EC. So that transition is in progress. I don't know how far along it is. We got a hold of our district emergency coordinator, and he'll be talking with the section manager, and then they'll be forwarding all the paperwork up to the ARRL. And at some point in the very near future, Susan will take over. I will step down. I'll still assist Susan. I'll be one of her resources. We're going to let Susan pick all of her AECs. She needs different assistant emergency coordinators to help out with some of the different aspects. And I think Susan's going to do an absolutely wonderful job. As you all know, we have a new EMA director. Sean Granato is the new EMA director. Spoke with him briefly last week and asked him about amateur radio emergency service and the EMA, if they're still interested in having our participation. He said, absolutely. So Susan, myself, and he are going to set up a meeting, and we'll figure out what Sean wants and see if we can meet his needs and continue the great relationship that we have with our Columbia County EMA. So that's a real positive thing that we have. As most of you know, Andy has left the EMA. He is now down in Brunswick, Georgia, and he's working at a college down there. And I hope that he'll do well in his new job down there. I'm sure he will. He's a real go-getter. It was a big loss for us to lose Andy, but he's moved on to bigger and better things. So that's to be expected when you're young and ambitious. Okay, with that, I'm just going to turn it over to Susan, see if Susan has anything more to say.
Okay, thanks, Pete. And we're going to miss Pete, and I appreciate Pete helping me out. And I'll, anybody interested in helping out and being an AEC, be sure to let me know. And I'm looking forward to doing a good job and trying to keep up Pete's good work and making him proud. So that's all I have.
Hmm.
Thank you to
Get
Pete.
started.
definitely have enjoyed working with you in this capacity. Best of luck to you with whatever your endeavors bring to you next. Susan, definitely welcome you in, and I want to just on behalf of the club make the commitment that you always have a forum to reach out to the club and the ham radio community through the Amateur Radio Club of Columbia County. So look forward to working with you and helping you out in whatever way we can.
Okay, thank you. I'm sure I'll need it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to Amron. Devon, you got any updates from Amron?
Sure. No video for me right now because of my cutout. Amron, as it states on the screen, American Readout Radio Operators Network. It's a nationwide of patriots and ham operators that operate together in time of need and work alongside other emergency communications, just like ARES. One of the things we've been doing is we've been doing brevity protocol via JSA call in time of need, so we can pass relevant traffic, real world status reports with each other. And specifically right now with the West Coast fires, health and welfare, we've been keeping up to date and some real world, some of the things you might not see in the media that ham operators are reporting in the situation, what's happening there. So that's keeping us quite busy, any the hurricanes.
Did Devon cut out on us? I think he might have.
We used up all the internet in Johnston.
Yep, it's done. Okay, if he comes back on, we'll give the platform back to him. Okay, all we had for motions this evening were the typical. Well, we did welcome. I think it might have been 9 new members to the club. Welcome again to all of you, and we accepted the treasurer's and secretary's report, and those were the only motions we made. There were a few implicit assignments in there as well. I want to take another moment, and I will miss somebody. Robert and Marina, I think, Rachel, Mike, Thomas, and that's who I see. And welcome. We welcome you to the club. This meeting tonight was a little bit heavy on the business side. We just had a lot of stuff kind of left over. We definitely, I'll transition to the next part. We want to do presentations. That's what we want our monthly meetings to be. A little bit different when you try to do them online, but we can do it. So if anybody has presentations they would like to give, I will certainly turn over the mic. I have a couple that I could give, but my goodness, you hear me talk enough during these meetings. We need another voice in here. Or if you have ideas, we'll seek out someone to do that presentation for you. So at this point, I will open it up to anybody who has any question about anything, anyone who wants to ask a question about a project, talk about their project, ask a question. We've got lots of very experienced ham radio operators on with us tonight. Please feel free to bring up any discussion item you would like to related to ham radio. Or is everybody just ready for bed?
Hey, Dan. It's
Go ahead, Casper.
I was just going to say, since Devon dropped off there, that we are tentatively playing with the idea to put an AMRON net on the 490 repeater because it has a huge reach and reaches out to a lot of people. I have talked with Kyle, our trustee, and he is fine with it. So it's just basically sitting with our board now to approve it. It most likely, I still need to finalize it with Devon, but it's probably going to be on Thursday nights because the AMRON nets, they run the first and third Thursdays. And that way it would run at the 9 o'clock time slot, So we'll keep you guys posted once we have everything more finalized. Also, there's a few things I need to learn from Devon specific to the AMRON nets and passing that traffic. So just want to give everybody a heads up.
Thank you, Casper. Appreciate that. And there was a great suggestion in here from
That's
Rachel. In the Devon, did you exceed the bandwidth allowable?
I don't know. Maybe when somebody jumped on or at that, it cut me off. No big deal. I was right at the period on my notes anyway.
Okay. We had a great suggestion that Rachel put in the chat here of radio programming. So I'm gonna ask was it ask a friend, phone a friend, Rusty, of whether radio programming, could that be done in a in-meeting presentation, or would that be better done as a standalone workshop?
It could probably be done through the Zoom, but for those that are brand new to radio programming and such, it is often helpful to be there with them. So if we are able to pull off a location that we could do that, it'd probably be better, because it turns out a lot better when we're able to be there to give them some hands-on should they run into a problem.
Okay. We will definitely plan a way to do that, because I think in the last 3 or 4 test sessions, we've licensed quite a few folks who would benefit from a programming workshop, and we haven't done one in a while. So Rachel, we will do that programming workshop one way or the other. We invite everyone who's interested in that to attend.
Hey, Dan, this is Bill. Let me just add to that, though. If somebody has any of the handhelds really that work with Chirp, and would like to get, I mean, some people call them code plugs. That's not really exactly what it is, but if somebody would like to get a program that they could just use Chirp to then, which is free, to then upload to their radio of all the local repeaters, Richmond County, Columbia County, Aiken County, even some of the ones out on the periphery. I'm sure there's any number of us in the club that would be happy to share our files via email. The files are not that big, and they can very easily be sent by email, because they're just a few tens of kilobytes. So.
Yep. And I think it's an opportunity to put in a plug for Augusta HamNet that has the I think the definitive source updated with all of the area repeaters with the PL tones and offsets and all that sort of stuff. So it might be more in there than what you want, but easy to take things out of there. And I would second what Bill said, that any of the folks who are experienced would be happy to help someone out before we have a workshop. Any other requests for mentoring or questions or offers or anything like that? Going once? Going twice? Okay. Any questions not necessarily related to that? Anything that we talked about during the meeting tonight, or any just questions in general that anyone has for the club? Okay. Well, I have one final question then for the club. Anyone want to make a motion to adjourn the meeting? I think I saw Rusty's hand. Is there a second? Cindy?
3, 4, 5.
Okay. We'll now pause for 20 minutes of discussion about whether to close the meeting. And I'm just kidding. Any discussion about adjourning the meeting? Is anyone opposed to adjourning the meeting? All right. The meeting is officially adjourned at 8:18 p.m. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hey, Dan?